Chip,
What up, dude?
do you hear that countdown music?
Yeah, I do. Do you?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a jam.
You should steal it. Like that. Throw some distortion over top of it.
Put a drop in.
Yeah. So what's going on here? Are we good to go? Is this thing running?
Yeah, we're live.
Are you checking on the old FB?
I
We
mean, I
are
got
on
a
it.
notification
Oh
for
shit,
Twitch.
that's cool.
Did you fix that?
Fix what?
I was hearing an echo for.
Oh yeah, because I went on the YouTube real quick.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
FB.
Yeah.
Your BF's about to get F'd in the B. You ever seen that movie? Do you know what the movie that's from?
It doesn't. Nah, not offhand.
It's from Scott Pilgrim
I don't know
versus
if
the
I've.
World.
I don't know if I've actually seen Scott Pilgrim.
Dude, when I first saw it, I thought it was really stupid, and then I watched it again a couple years ago, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But it's very quirky.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. There's been a few movies like that for me, like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't think that like the first time I saw it, I thought it was very funny.
I still haven't seen that. I've never seen that.
Yeah, just super awkward. Yo, what's up, Jamie or Jaime?
Jaime.
And then I don't think I really liked Step Brothers the first time. Like,
Oh,
honestly,
I love Step Brothers the first time. I've loved Step Brothers the first time and the 40th time.
yeah. No, like I've come to feel like it's absolute genius.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, what's his name? John C. Reilly. I've been watching a bunch of John C. Reilly just because of the movie that we watched, and then instantly reminded me of John C. Reilly's work.
Oh, because I Walk Hard.
Yeah, Walk Hard. Which honestly, we'll get to it, but if you've seen that movie first and then Walk the Line, it's like it's pretty.
Is that how you watched them?
Yeah, well, I didn't. I saw Walk the Line, or no, I saw Walk Hard like years ago. I remember I saw it on the Framing Hanley tour, so that's how long ago I saw it. And then I've never saw Walk the Line. Just I watched it yesterday.
Oh, that's your first time seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just funny that it's just watching it that way. I'm sure is different than watching it first.
Right. Yeah.
But
I didn't watch that movie for a long time.
which movie?
Walk Hard. I thought it looked really stupid when I saw the.
Well, that's why I didn't watch it. And then they were just watching it, and so there's not a lot of places you can go on a tour usually. So
Yeah.
but anyway, so what's going on? You said you were at your son's concert.
Yeah. I was starting a little late tonight.
What kind of concert was it? Like a rock concert?
No, he's in middle school band.
So like, what's he play?
French horn.
French horn? Oh yeah, I remember seeing that there.
Yeah.
Did you play an instrument in high school?
I did not. I mean, I played in bands and stuff. I played middle school for like not even a full year because we moved. We moved a bunch when I was a kid, and I was like playing the snare drum, like that was in percussion.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So, okay, so you guys did have that kind of band, like the orchestra crap.
Yeah.
Do they still have that in all schools, or is that something you gotta like? Do they teach that?
Yeah.
Or is this something?
I don't know. I mean, it may not be in some like underfunded schools,
But it's not like extracurricular.
Yeah, I mean it's like I mean as you get older, it's like being on the football team. It's like it's a physical education credit.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I did it. I did it in high school too, like junior high, I think.
Yeah.
But we actually had a music class where you'd also play stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I see. Like a general music. No, so for that class, instead of going to like a music class, they report to like their band director, and they basically get like group instrument instruction from a teacher at
right,
school. You know what I'm saying?
but it's not like a part of your everyday curriculum.
Yeah, they go to that class every day.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, every day.
Okay, yeah. So, but not everybody has to do it, right?
No, it's an elective.
Okay, so yeah, in my school anyway, back 20 years ago, or even longer, you had to do it. So even if you were terrible at an instrument, you had to sit there and play it, and then you could be
Yeah.
in like the band, or you had to try out and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I lived in Arkansas for a while, and they had a requirement like where everyone had to do a fine art. So if you didn't want to do like music or try out for band, you had to do like theater or some fine art
Yeah,
credit. So like there'd be like a general music class that a lot of people took.
yeah. So not drama, or I guess we called it drama. I
Yeah,
guess you guys.
drama, theater, same thing.
Yeah, I'm very glad there was no mandatory drama class.
Yeah.
I would not have cared for that.
You
Um,
could have just taken music.
well, we didn't have a choice for the most. We didn't have a choice until you got into like like high school, like junior high. You had to take music. You had to take like shop. You had to take home ec.
Oh yeah.
You had to do all.
That's
Did you guys?
no, they didn't require it. Like those were optional. Like you had to
Hmm.
take one of maybe that category.
Do they have to take like phys ed?
Yeah. Or band. Band would get you out of that.
I see. It's weird. Yeah.
Like marching band. Cause like, I mean, they were physical though. Like they'd march with their instruments.
Right. Is that what he does?
Not currently. They're
So what
just
do they
like,
play? Do they play anything like Killing in the Name of or anything like that?
no, they're not to that point. I'll be honest though, man. So this is like his first year, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have like private instruction outside of just going to school.
Yeah.
And and so like there's it's like it's a group of sixth graders,
Mhm.
and they
Oh,
had
I didn't know he was that young.
yeah, so they had a concert in winter, and then to like hear how far they've come in just a few months, man, it's
Well,
really
French horn is, I think, pretty tough too.
yeah.
I think French horn is the tougher of the horns.
Yeah, he's it's funny because I don't think it's a super common instrument to like request to play. And
Hmm.
it just so happens that the band director like majored in music and French horn is his instrument. So he's like all
Yeah,
wants
big.
to, like taking miles as like a
Well,
special case.
yeah, in my school, you couldn't just play French horn. You had to like try out for it, and if
Yeah.
you weren't good enough, they wouldn't let you play it.
Yeah.
So there was like you could either pick like flute, uh, trombone, trumpet. Like you could pick those as much as you wanted, but you couldn't just pick French horn. I don't think you could pick like one of the saxophones either.
Yeah.
I think you had to try out for that too.
Yeah. I bet that sax is a popular
Yeah,
instrument. That's how drums were at the school I went to in Arkansas, where I
yeah,
played like 1 year. Drums were like you had to try out for it. And my dad was a drummer. So like I'd been playing like a drum kit. So like keeping a steady single stroke roll or whatever on a
hmm,
snare drum or playing like paradiddles or whatever, like that stuff was like super easy to me.
yeah.
It's pretty
Uh,
basic at that level.
yeah, I always wanted to play drums, but I have an electric kit that's pretty sweet, but I'm not that great. I probably could be if I really put my too much might too much was it too many different things are doing different things, you know what I mean?
Oh, the limb independence.
Yeah, too much limb independence.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Drums are fun. They're just like, dude, I only want to play like a real kit. Like I don't really like the feel of electric kits. And I know they've come a long way. I've played some of the ones with like the mesh heads and stuff, and
Yeah.
they feel better, but there's nothing like playing like a real drum set with real cymbals.
Well, the one thing I like about electric kit is that even if you're the samples pretty much, I mean
Dialed. Yeah, yeah, you
yeah,
know.
there's variance in it, but you're at least gonna, it's not like a trigger where a trigger always is gonna make that sound.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They've definitely got like velocity built
Yeah.
into the sensors, but there's just something about the feel of a real kit, and they're loud as shit. So it's tough to
Yeah.
have one at the house and like really play it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they take up so much room.
Dude, do you remember rehearsing with Howard in that tiny little space and how like loud? I mean, Howard's a powerful drummer. We were rehearsing in
Where
that room like by Guitar Center on 45. Like,
in Houston?
yeah, tiny. It was back when I was playing bass, and we were in a tiny little room, dude. It was
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of the rooms. Yeah, tiny. And
like
Howard's
it,
hitting the drums like
like
so hard.
like we're on a 40-foot stage.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're in the stadium
Yeah,
and he's not mic'd.
but I mean, like, dude, he played the shit out of the drums, but like our equipment barely fit in there. I remember showing up there and being like, dude, I have a spot bigger than this.
And we didn't do it.
No.
Dude, that's just all so much of a blur. Was I even there? Did I contribute at all?
You were there, but I even told you there's no point. Like, there's no point in trying to sing in this room. You'll kill yourself.
Yeah, which probably sucked because I probably really wanted to sing too.
Oh,
I was
dude,
probably jumping at the bit to
I
sing.
know, dude. I could see it in your face. It was killing you.
Yeah, I was so bummed out that day.
I,
Now I remember that because I was so bummed out I
we
couldn't
did
sing
it.
in
We drew
practice.
straws to see who was gonna have to tell you.
And I just stared at you guys for 20
No,
minutes in
I'd be
complete
like,
silence.
can we go outside and talk for a second?
Yeah. I'm like, who's this guy playing bass and why is he why is he telling me I can't sing at practice? Get rid of him.
Well, shit, man.
Yeah, because up until that day I was singing consistently all
Yeah.
the time, Chip. So yeah. Well, we got a few people on here, Chip.
Yeah, we got some people watching.
You know what? I going back to our first podcast, I did a little. I remember the old. What's her name? What was that chick we talked or that Demi Lovato? Was that the was
Oh
she
yeah,
the probably?
the one who got her feelings hurt
Yeah,
by
I
the
watched this like breakdown on this by the apology. They broke down the what do they call it? Like an expert at body language.
the psychology of
Yeah, like a body body
yeah.
language expert. I got
Yeah.
super annoyed again. It's just insane. Are these archive?
Well, what did he have to say?
Well, he was like professional for he went through the whole thing and was professional about it, and then at the end he ranted about how awful it was that like just how fake the apology was and everything. And if you watch it, yeah, it's like super.
Yeah.
It's funny how people are like how they fake that. You know, they're only apologizing because they get in trouble, right? So frozen yogurt is a mental health subject. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
No, it's like it's one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in such a long time. And
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of ridiculous things.
It's like there's a competition though.
Yeah, it's like these people just get too much time to themselves or something, and they just can't. They just think of dumb stuff to do,
I
but
swear
they also don't think about dumb stuff not to do.
there's got to be a South Park episode about this. That like
Oh, there should be.
their name hasn't appeared like recently enough in a Google search,
Yeah.
so they've got to like do
Well,
something absolutely insane.
well, South Park's every week, don't they? Like write and record every week.
Oh man, I don't know. They were like they used to pump them out, but I don't
Not
think
every
they do.
week, but don't they when they do a South Park episode? Isn't it like they write it and record it all like within a week, and then it airs? I watched a thing about how they make South Park
Yeah, because their stuff is like crazy, like
topical.
yeah,
Yeah.
which they're geniuses at anyway.
Oh,
Like
it's crazy.
the way that they can take something so ridiculous, like they'll water it down to the most absurd idea, but then you'll immediately see exactly what they're like
Yeah.
linking it to in reality.
Where
It's
they're like one of the most original, like, because they took their own content and made it big somehow, right? Like that's
yeah,
how they wasn't all like cardboard or whatever, and
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. And there's like a lot of jokes like throughout the years of them making fun of like the graphics of it, like the visual appearance.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the episode where they're like stuck in virtual reality?
No, I haven't seen a lot of. I have, I think, 15 seasons of it actually, but I've probably watched 10 of them. So it's been a. I don't have anything that it would be airing on.
That sucks,
What do
man.
you watch it on?
I think like I have a paid Hulu and
Yes, we don't have Hulu.
no. HBO Max. That's what it is. It's
We
on
don't have
HBO
that
Max.
either.
Yeah. It's all of it. And it's like 23 seasons or something, dude.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. But their seasons are pretty short though. I think they're only like 13 episodes.
Yeah. I was gonna say they used to be more. I think there were like some of the early years they had. I'd have to look at it, but I know it's like 12
Yeah,
episodes
it's
a
not
month.
it's not super. It's not like The Simpsons where it would be like 20 something episodes or whatever. I have not checked out the new Mighty Ducks.
No, I haven't either.
Um,
Is that a show, a movie or a
I think
series?
it's a show on Disney Plus. I'm trying to think of the last thing I watched. I can't remember.
So 14 episodes in season 12. I was
The
looking
last
at it.
thing I watched was actually Segway Chip. Walk the Line,
Yeah, no, that would have been the last thing I watched too. I rented it last night.
which like we were talking earlier, how it's very weird to watch that movie after if you've only seen Walk Hard first.
Well, I watched it the first time when it was new. It'd been so long. If we were going to talk about it, I felt like I need to like
Yeah. So
watch it.
what would you rate it out of
Uh,
10?
I don't know. Um,
Actually, you
the
need to get, you got that letterbox. You should put all the movies that we've done in there, and then we can do like a rating later. Eurovision will be your number one, probably.
Yeah, probably give it like a 1.
No, yeah, it'll be number one out of however many we do.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. It's not that bad.
um, so what out of 10? You don't know?
Well, and what would you give it?
I gave it a 7.
I would say that's fair.
Were you a fan of the old Johnny Cash?
So, yeah, I mean, I have no idea how accurate this is.
Well,
I'm not
I
a
actually made
I,
some notes about that.
yeah,
We can discuss.
I'm not really a fan. Not to say anything like negative. I mean, obviously dude's a legend, but I just was never a big fan of that sound.
Dude, I don't even think I knew any of his songs until that movie was out. Even though I never saw the movie, I obviously saw the the effect of it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I would have known any of his music, which is probably sacrilegious, but I mean
But like,
it's not really my scene.
yeah. Well, I mean, have you listened to it like because of this? Have you like any of the top Spotify plays or whatever? Have you listened
Well,
to it?
nah, I mean, when I started this movie, the very first scene he goes to the studio and they he plays that song and the guy's like, this is boring or whatever, and then he plays his own song,
Mhm.
and then his bros in the background don't know it, and then they pick it up and they all start playing it.
Yeah.
um that's I was like, yeah, this music's not terrible. I mean, I don't mind this, and then it's got it where he's playing it on the big stage, and it's everyone's all getting juking and jiving. I'm like, this isn't that bad. But then as it goes on, it's like every song has the same bass line in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's all, and I just was like, okay, I mean, I don't it's not like I dislike it, but I mean, it's not really necessarily my thing.
Yeah.
Uh, what about you? Like, are you gonna start listening to it more, or did it make when it came out? Do you remember if you listened to it more, or was whatever?
No, I mean, I've always been aware because like I've listened to like I grew up listening to like some of my dad's vinyl, like when he
Hmm.
wasn't home. Like I told you, my dad was a drummer and
Yeah.
he played horn when he was a kid, like played in a rock band, playing. I mean, this was back when like jazz rock, like Chicago and stuff was like kind of hot. So there was like a lot more horns and rock bands. And
Hmm.
so I grew up listening to like older and like different stuff. I just, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he was a Cash fan, but um,
what about Elvis? And wasn't that the same era, Elvis and all that?
I mean, I wouldn't have known that, but
No.
like it showed him in the movie hanging out.
Yeah. What about did you ever get into Elvis?
I mean, I was aware of him and I've heard him, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, same thing. Not really. Uh,
Yeah, we one time I don't know if I we went to Memphis and the label got us a hookup to go to Graceland.
yeah,
So we went to Graceland and then we got interviewed because Sirius has an all Elvis station.
yeah,
So we start, yeah, it's like, you know how Pearl Jam, I don't know if you know, Sirius has like an all Pearl Jam too, but they have an all Elvis.
yeah. But the Pearl Jam one, don't they like play other stuff too, though?
I don't know.
I
I
thought they
never,
like, I thought they curated it sometimes where it was like stuff they were into. But
yeah, I
yeah,
don't
no,
know. So we do an interview at the start on Sirius on the Elvis channel, like for probably 15 minutes, and then he's like, "Why don't you go walk through Graceland and then come back and we'll do another interview after you've seen everything?" And we're like, "That's cool." So we go look at everything, whatever. It's whatever, right? It's like a museum.
mm,
Then we get back and do the interview, and then right from he's just giving us the business. He's like, do you see all those gold records?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "I bet your band's never gonna have that many gold records." Like, yeah, I guess probably not. And then he did like a couple digs. Oh, he's like, "Yeah, so we've got an all Elvis channel," and we're like, "Yeah." And I bet your band is never gonna have an all your band channel. And we're like, "Yeah, probably not. What is the point of this? Just to diss us?"
right,
He
man. I
brought
can't,
us.
I can't wait to come back.
What's that office where it's like, why did they bring on to the clown, the magician, to treat a magician badly? Why did these guys bring Evans Blue on to treat them badly? But yeah, I was just
Everyone's like, cause dude, the damn Elvis Channel DJ gets bullied up here at the XM office. So
yeah. I wanted to be a dude because I don't know if Elvis wrote his music. I don't think he did because I was looking at a lot of his gold records and the songs are written by other people, and I wanted to be like, I wanted to say something, but I didn't. It's
yeah,
whatever. I don't really care. It was very weird to go on an interview and just get dissed on how we're not as good or as famous as Elvis. Oh
I
man.
mean, like the number of artists you could do that to, though.
Yeah. It's like
I mean,
yeah,
to
you
be
got
honest,
me. You
if
got me.
if they did it to everybody, it would kind of be funny.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. And the guy that was interviewing us looked exactly like Doc Holliday. I think it was his name was that too, or something like that. Anyway, um, yeah. So yeah, it's yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan, but I thought it was good. It's kind of like the same story that it's like the most classic kind of rock and roll story in terms of what happens in it. You know,
Yeah,
like famous drugs.
yeah. Struggle with addiction.
Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of what I was looking it up, and Johnny Cash actually died 2 years before this came out, but he was aware that it was getting made.
Yeah.
So I don't know his son that he had with June or whatever.
Hmm.
Executive produced it. So
John Carter Cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess her family, his original wife's family, was not happy with the way
She was
that she was
Vivian.
portrayed because yeah, they made her seem like a terrible, you know, grumpy person, and apparently she wasn't really like that until he got into drugs. Then she kind of was over it or whatever. But apparently she was pretty supportive for the most part.
Yeah.
But the thing that's the one thing I liked is that whole recording studio scene where you go in and you just do your record and you know throw down a record and then you get it on the radio basically if you're
Right.
it's $4 to do a record whatever that translates to
Right.
and it's all off the floor.
Yeah.
um
Just Just one live room, one control room.
Yeah, yeah, and you just go in and do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, you think about I mean, even some classic records that were made more or less that way. And if not, edits were being done by a hand with razor blade and splice and tape together.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't do that. I don't know if you could get away with that anymore in this day and age of music. I don't know
I
if
mean,
people.
if that's all you had, that would be all you had. But I mean, no, you couldn't today. Like, could you do the old sound and expect to be on like current radio
Yeah,
next to the stuff that sounds the way it does? No, no way.
yeah.
People wouldn't want to hear it.
Well, yeah, or even just have bands record completely off the floor. I'm sure there's bands that do it, but I mean, I don't really even know what the advantage would be anymore. Because, like you said, yeah, people don't want to hear music that way anymore. They want it.
Well, you say off the floor. What are you talking
Like, I
about?
mean, I'm talking like everybody's playing at once, and that's the recording that you get.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some
Well,
bands that do.
the problem with it, as you know, is that individual pieces become much harder to EQ and balance when you've got shit bleeding in from four other people playing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess in this day and age, you could obviously have drums in their own room, and I mean,
Yeah.
because I guess there's some energy that could be had from doing it that way. I just don't know if that would translate anymore with how everyone wants music to sound. I mean,
Well, have
music
you
has
ever?
to sound a certain way nowadays. You can't have those. Like, remember when Offspring came out or Creed? Have you ever listened to that first Offspring or first Creed record?
Yeah.
It sounds like garbage, like compared to now. I
Yeah.
don't think a band could pull that off again. Like, I don't think you could put something like that out in this time and get anywhere with
No, I don't. I don't think so.
it. And I mean, you could do where your whole band's playing, but there's obviously going to be tons of overdubs.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, um do you know who Rick Beato is? Have you ever?
sort of sounds familiar.
So you talked about like uh buried treasure, and I don't need to start that discussion necessarily right now, but if anybody's interested in learning music theory, learning, I mean, he does like some stuff where he talks about what makes this song great and he tears them apart. A lot of times the artists send him the multi tracks. He was like a producer and a music professor up in New York. And anyway, he's a G. He knows more about music than I'll ever know. He's insane. But he does this video where he goes on this rant about like playing to the grid and things not having that like old school like ebb and flow, and like, you know, things not being as dynamic as they used to be.
Hmm.
And like, I get what he's saying, but you know, at the same time, like I just
Yeah. Well, see, people are bringing up that Foo Fighters, and that I'm sure they did. I mean, it wasn't. I think there's a documentary about that too. It's just whether they did overdubs and stuff too. I mean, I don't know.
and I think a lot of the times when even when people record on tape, they still put it into Pro Tools. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still convert that into like a digital audio workstation and manipulate it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You have
and
to.
and nevertheless, man, like I love the Foo Fighters to death, but I feel like no matter what they put out, at least one of the singles is getting played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just one of those bands that everybody loves, so they get played no matter what.
Yeah. I could fart on a snare drum. No, my favorite scene of the movie was the one in the studio, and then apparently I read that none of that happened that way, and I was very disappointed because I like when he's singing the song and the guy calls him out and he's like, "You're just singing, you're not feeling it," and that's definitely something that I think relates a lot of times. Even if I've ever worked with musicians, like just doing little vocal parts here and there, there's singing a part or playing a part, and then there's feeling that part, and maybe people might not notice the difference, but I definitely think that's a thing.
Yeah, no, it's for sure a thing. And I feel like it doesn't matter what instrument you play. Like even if whether it's like playing a drum set or a guitar or singing, like
Hmm.
when you hear someone sit behind a kit that knows what they're doing, like
Hmm.
even their like just basic ass one and two and sounds like you can tell. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you can tell if they're confidence too. That's what one of the main things is when you're recording any instrument. Yeah, it's that confidence of, whether how you're throwing it down, whether it's believable.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's probably easier to see when you're obviously sitting with someone
Yeah.
and you can kind of feel that they're not, uh, you know, comfortable with it. But I think you can hear it to a point too.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's like you have to develop, you know, your technical ability to the point that you can express yourself like properly. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and whether it's like you either, I mean, for some people, you either have it or you don't with regard to vocals. But like with playing an instrument, I truly believe that if you are like willing to put in the work and the time, that you can develop to a point where you can have that, that feel, that something to say.
Yeah. Well, even in the movie, because it's funny that he's obviously the main dude, and then his bro in the back playing the lead guitar. And you
Yeah.
look at the shows, and he's just kind of back there playing the parts, like
Yeah.
playing them perfectly well. But then obviously he's doing his thing, and that's the draw, right? So I mean, that's actually the combination of those two things. And I've played with guys like that too, that are just technically, great, but they never have that. I don't know. I mean, they can have soul. It's you can definitely see musicians that are like that. They're just technically good, but they just can play stuff. It doesn't necessarily like sound soulful, I guess.
Yeah. It's a little more sterile.
But no, I did like that. Is he kept those his bros with him the whole movie. I
Right.
was expecting that. Usually, I was waiting for that part, like where they're just
They pull him aside. They're like, "Hey, kid, you're gonna be a big star.
yeah, you need to get rid of these two
You gotta
guys.
drop these guys."
They're with them the whole time, the whole
Dude, in
movie, anyway.
fact, they went from the Tennessee 2 to the Tennessee 3.
Yeah, yeah, dude, those shows back then where it's like Grand Old Opry, man, that stuff is brutal. That fake, like twangy, dumb jokes and everything like that. The funny thing is, I think that stuff still all goes on in certain places.
Doesn't
Well, I think
I
the
don't
Grand
know.
Old Opry is still a thing.
Oh yeah, the Grand Ole Opry is still a thing, but I mean like modern country players play like shows there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't
They don't
think
have the Lawrence Welk or whatever.
I don't think it's a dinner show.
No, I think they're. What's that? Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, and Branson's like I think it's a campy like I mean I think I went there as a kid, but it's like a vacation spot.
Yeah, and it's like campy like that.
I don't know if it's campy like that, but I think it
Hmm.
is more like old Western style.
Yeah, it's not my scene.
No?
No, surprisingly, I know based on how you know me, how well you know me, that that would not be something I'd be that into.
No.
Just clapping in the front row.
Dude, we met at a rodeo.
Yeah, we met it. I was wearing chaps and
Anyway, that's funny.
um. What was I
Oh,
gonna
but
say?
did you see where he proposed? Well, when she finally said yes?
Yeah, dude, that was, and that's another scene that didn't actually happen that way.
No?
No, and you know what's funny about that? That happened in London, Ontario, in real life, which is half hour from where I grew up.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was right by your place.
Yeah, that was where we went when we were young to have Taco Bell because our town didn't have Taco Bell, and we thought it was just amazing to get to go drive and have Taco Bell. We
Yeah.
lived for it, man.
Dude, I lived in this small ass town in Arkansas for a while where when they put the first red light up, people stood on the side of the road and like watched it change.
What? How old were you?
Uh Probably like 12, maybe
Yeah.
10. Um yeah, I mean like my parents drove me into Little Rock to go to like a private school because the public schools in Arkansas weren't super good back in the 90s.
Hmm.
And so like I mean I had seen a decent, I mean Little Rock is not a big city, don't get me wrong, but it's not a farm town either. But
Yeah. Wait, what sound?
the town that I lived in
Yeah.
was called Maumelle.
Mamel?
Yeah, Maumelle, I think,
What
something like that.
state?
Arkansas.
Oh, near Little Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I
Did
was
you know Bill Clinton?
my dad did.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they were bros?
I don't know if they were bros, but like my dad knew him.
Hmm. Interesting. What about Hillary?
I don't think
He, thankfully, no, right?
no,
Did he know him or
my,
did he know
my
too
my
much?
my father's still with us, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, obviously didn't know her,
He didn't know
or
him
at
that
least no.
well. You know what I'm saying?
um, that's crazy. Well, Little Rock is it I guess big, or was it big then? It's like a major
I don't know.
city, isn't it?
I was a little kid. I didn't know how. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
but
Yeah, but when you're 12, 13, that was the year, those were the years when my buddy and I, we had a friend that could drive. So he would take us to those places. So we would go to that big city, quote unquote. But so was that something like Little Rock was where you would go to,
oh yeah. That would have been like the
that's
big
where you go to
city.
partay as a
Yeah,
12, 13-year old?
yeah, for sure.
You guys are
Well, I
like,
mean, that's like where like all the big like even kid stuff would be. You know what I mean? Like if there was a like a toy store or
yeah,
a birthday place, like where you'd have a
right.
birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like there was this place called an Excite. It's like a big X and then site, and it
yeah,
had like a little tiny ass roller coaster in it, but a giant like ball pit and obstacle course, laser tag. I mean, like a big 2-story laser tag and
right.
arcade and pizza and bowling. Like just you know what I'm saying? Like a kid,
Yeah.
all that stuff would have been in Little Rock. We wouldn't have shit like that. I mean, like I said, I remember when they put in the first red light.
Yeah. We went, yeah, ours was Laser Quest. That's what we always used to do.
Yeah,
Did you ever have to do that?
yeah, laser tag was the bomb when I was a kid,
It's
man.
so fun.
Dude, right? Why was that so much fun to run around and chase your
Yeah.
friends and shoot them?
And did you get
Like,
scores and stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, and
like
you,
your like your headshots or your chest or
yeah.
whatever.
And were you able to pick a code name and all that?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, dude, it was so fun. But
that was so
then I played paintball, and Laser Quest lost its
yeah.
luster after that. Because once you play paintball,
Well, see, the problem we have down south is it gets really hot down here. So we're running around in the summertime getting
yeah,
shot with paintballs on my bare leg.
oh yeah,
That shit sucks. Now, when I lived in Arkansas for a little while, we'd pay it in the wintertime. So you'd naturally have like a little bit thicker clothes on. They didn't hurt. I mean, I
yeah.
got shot in the hand or like the neck a couple times. That shit sucks, but
No,
you know, you get over it.
the hand shot's no good. I got that once too, and not even with a strong. We went to this place that had like revolver style
Like
guns.
it's like aim them up to get any
Yeah, they had little like canisters in them,
the ones
and
you wear your shoe up with.
you'd load them.
No way.
You had to load them individual.
No
That was the
way.
first time I ever played paintball. Was everyone had little revolvers.
Dude, that's so weak.
And but the other cool thing was that
Single shot paintball guns.
not even just single shot and like 6 rounds. Like literally like the what do you call it? I don't know, the thing that spins around chamber or the cylinder. Yeah. So you'd have to sit there manually load it and you shoot your 6 shots and then you probably got 30 shots per CO2 thing.
That's insane.
But the crazy thing was is that this place had smoke bombs, which are cool, and they had mortars, and they had like grenades.
I never got to play with those. I heard about them.
Yeah, we had all that kind of stuff, and then these little puny guns, and for the face mask, all it was safety goggles that you would wear at like a shop. But they didn't hurt that much because they weren't that strong.
That's true.
But then, yeah, the next time it was the big guns and all that.
That's brutal, man.
What were you saying about the wedding scene? Just that it was weird, or the engagement scene?
Oh no, just that it was up by you.
Yeah,
mess with you, but I don't know if it made you feel some type of way.
Yeah, I guess so. No, some other things on there. They had 2 were all in the same van. which is kind of crazy for all these big artists that they're.
Oh, right, like the scene that you had Jerry Lee Lewis, June Carter, and Johnny Cash and his band.
Yeah, and Elvis was there too, in just a different vehicle and all that.
That's wild.
Well, I think that was pretty common because that's how. Remember those three guys like La Bamba, whatever, Richie Valens, sorry,
Yeah.
those
I
guys.
yeah, I've never seen that, but
Well, but you know the story how they in the plane and everything, right?
uh-uh.
Wait, so you don't know about that?
No.
All right, well, we're gonna put a pin in that shit.
Right on.
But anyway,
But
those.
it did occur to me though, because and I'm glad you brought it up, but like the amount of gear that we use today.
Mhm, yeah,
Just like from the aspect of like a guitarist having like amps and cabinets and pedals and multiple guitars for multiple tunings. They played
yeah,
one guitar show
yeah.
and like
Well, they don't have to overcompensate.
yeah,
Chip.
that's true. No, the I mean, and for anyone who doesn't know, like for me anyway, um like I play in different tunings so that I don't step on all this old stuff that's been done in the same tuning for 100 years. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like when I play a standard tuned guitar, it's hard not to play this stuff that's been in my lexicon my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we play in. I mean, we play in what 4 or 5 different tunings. I mean,
I
they're all.
lost Yeah, I lost count,
We
man.
pretty much play them from A to E and everything in between,
Yeah.
which isn't like necessarily. And then we have some alternate tunings, but not a lot of those.
Yeah.
That's more of a Kyle stuff. Does that kind of stuff? Not a ton of those. I know "Don't Stop to Breathe" is an alternate tuning.
Yeah.
I
Several of
think.
the
I think
some of the
Rose of Vale's in a different tuning for Kyle anyway.
yeah, Roosevelt's and there's capos on some stuff. I mean, it's I just feel like it's so that it sounds fresh.
So
No, what
Chip,
up, Breck? I have not seen the Bamba.
okay, so but do you know what happened to the guys?
No, I really don't.
Okay,
I guess I'm gonna need to.
well, we might have to do that movie night. That's a good movie, actually. Right, don't
Nice.
spoil it. Don't spoil it for
Yeah,
Chip.
yeah. Don't
Well, you probably know. You just don't know that it's.
right. Breck will try to. I love Breck to death, but he'll try to tell me some part of it. I'll be like, don't tell me any part of it.
He'll
He'd
give
be
you
like,
the very end.
I'm not gonna spoil it. No, then don't say anything.
Yeah, you probably don't know. You know. You know.
Right. That could
So
be. So, uh, in regards to tuning, sometimes like
I don't think there's really a science to it. And basically, it's these guys will send me songs or whatever tuning they wrote something in.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It really just depends on what guitar I'm playing, or Kyle may. I mean, sometimes playing a different guitar inspires you to play a like playing in a different tuning or playing a different guitar or whatever will inspire you to play a different riff, and so
Yeah,
that's just what it ends up in. I don't know that you've ever asked me to change a tuning because of vocals, and I think that's a misconception because I think you can sing in any of the tunings, right? So
yeah. Well, the only time that I would do that is if somebody were to send me a tune, and I don't know, I don't get a song and I'm instantly like, oh, that's in C. That's a C guitar. I can tell. I don't think that way. So they'll send me a like a track. I'll write stuff to it, and I'll. The only time we would do anything usually would be just to drop it down if I want to sing like way higher than what I can based on what they send me, essentially. But yeah, like you said, when you're playing, you could play a riff in drop D, play the same riff in drop A, and it's going to sound different.
yeah, and for whatever reason, make you play differently. I swear, because like
Well, because yeah, it's more aggressive sounding when it's low, I think. But there's other factors too. Strings feel different.
yeah, it's funny. Like I played and dropped and detuned stuff for so long that when we started doing some of the state by state stuff in standard tuning, it was like I hadn't done that in a while.
Um, yeah, I mean, the first Evans Blue record was in C sharp. Then the next album was in C, and then we toured with Breaking Benjamin, so Breaking Benjamin used a lot of baritones, or not a lot, but they used baritones on like Diary of Jane. So we got into that, and then we did some songs in A, and then yeah, we do pretty much. I think A is pretty much as low as you go, right? You can't really,
I
you don't
mean,
go much lower
people do.
with like an 8 string maybe or
I
seven
mean,
string.
yeah.
I mean, a baritone is gonna go down to what?
I mean,
You
you
can
can
go
do
down
it
to G.
down. You can go down a full octave. You can go E to E.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How
That's.
floppy are those strings?
I mean, if it's thick enough. I mean,
Oh,
there
yeah, I
aren't
guess if
any
you have,
thicker. They aren't any thicker than what they put on the H strings.
yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I guess we've never gone that low.
I don't think we need to.
No, probably not. Low and slow. Somebody asked how we picked the artwork. I mean, it's basically just ideas that thrown around, sort of.
Yeah.
Will does a lot of our stuff, and it's like, yo, do something with a lighthouse. There you go. It's pretty much how that works.
Yeah. I mean, and you do all the.
And then with Starry Eyes, it was I just basically said, "Yo, can you do like?" Will didn't do that one. Another friend of mine did it, and I just said I had a couple figures I kind of wanted to see, and I just said, "Do whatever," and then she did that. Kill Plan, that was more. I mean, just an idea of having the bomb in the head and one in the heart, kind of thing.
That's a cool concept.
So yeah, we're just in terms of artwork, we're actually looking at. We've been talking about it doing a 4 vinyl release where all four we release the 4 major Electric albums, I guess. Icons, Starry, Kill Plan, and Rosa Vale on vinyl. And we've been going around with art, and I have like a concept where it's basically all 4 albums would you could hang them on your wall as like one design, but they'd be individual too, to kind of melt into each other and keep the themes of each. So like the Icons one has a lighthouse, but it's a totally different concept, and it goes into the doll kind of thing on the Starry Eyes, and then there's part of the Kill Plan. It's all in the early stages, but it's pretty what's the word? Complicated, I guess, at this point. Anyway, so what else did I have on here?
Well, and someone asked about the titles too. I mean, you do all the
Yeah, I mean, those
lyrics and all
that's
the
stuff
titles.
that, yeah. And I try to do stuff that's not if I come up with an album title, I'll Google those words together and see if they're anywhere, and if they, because what was the last album, we were going to call it something else, right?
Yeah, and we may still use that, so I don't want to say it because I loved that title.
But I put it in one of the songs.
I know. That's okay.
Wow. Anyway, I found one tweet where someone used those words, so I couldn't make it the title because I didn't want people to think I copied from this guy's tweet, even though I didn't even know who that person was.
Yeah.
um,
I think you took it too far because that was an awesome name.
I got tons of names, Chip.
Yeah.
Well, that was a cool title, but whatever.
Yeah. You know how I found out you changed the name?
No.
You posted it. I read it on Facebook.
What do you mean? Like
Like
you
I got a notification and I was like, oh shit, what Parabel? Oh, so that's what we're calling the record.
It's funny. Yeah, I couldn't have anybody think that I stole that title from that tweet.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I get it, man. Originality.
Yeah, originality.
Gotta come original, as 311 would say.
Oh, there was one question I wanted to ask you in relation to this movie, Chip. So he's at home with his wife, right? Vivian.
Okay.
Right? and she's very suspecting that he's hooking up with June, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's this question. It's a bit of a mind bender. If you were having an affair with a woman, would you then come home and hang pictures of that woman on your home wall with your wife there? Is that something that you would do? It's a classic classic question,
No,
psychological question. Yeah, that's
but
funny.
see, the thing is she's expecting you to not hang up pictures of the girl
Oh,
that
I
you're
see.
hooking up with.
I see.
So you've got to flip that, because
Addition by subtraction.
what's the first thing you're gonna do, right?
Yeah,
If you're
split the
cheating,
diff.
it's not hang up pictures of the girl that you're cheating with.
Yeah,
So that's what she's gonna be expecting you to do
true.
first thing when you come in.
Yeah, so if you do it, it's like it's not happening.
Clearly, that can't be happening. He just
Yeah.
hung up pictures of her.
If I was cheating, why would I hang these pictures up of this girl? I wonder if that happened. I couldn't find anything to corroborate if that happened or not. So, but apparently,
I did that. Definitely was bizarre.
yeah, super crazy. Apparently the Vivian Cash put out a book that was all the letters that her and him corresponded with each other during their like courting and while he was on tour and stuff. And she released. There's a documentary that came out not too long ago about her as well. So I would have watched it, but I couldn't find it on anything. So I think it's called My Darling Vivian. But it'd be interesting to see that.
There's a documentary about.
Yeah, there's a documentary called My Darling Vivian, and then she put out a book. The book is what all the letters, and it's called I don't know what it's called. Something something. Walking the Line. I think it's called Walking the Line with Johnny Cash or something.
Right on.
So yeah, and apparently, like I said, she wasn't so shrewish.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't make good. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing
good
about
drama.
true story movies that kind of bugs me is like I watched the trial of the Chicago 7 and I enjoyed it quite a bit, and then I was like reading what actually happened, and it's weird. I don't think the movie would have suffered if you just kept it
Factual.
yeah, completely factual. I don't know. I don't get that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're going to if you could so easily be called out on it. You know? Why make up stuff?
Yeah.
Like there's instances where they'll take like you saw Bohemian Rhapsody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne, what's his name? Mike Myers is in it, and he's a character. Well, apparently that guy didn't exist, but he's like an amalgamation of a bunch of people. That's fine. That makes sense because you're not gonna have like 7 characters trying to all do the same thing. But when they actually change stuff, that's when it gets a little.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But anyway, well, what did you think overall? You thought did you enjoy it?
No, it's
Do you like it?
yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought for the dramatization or whatever that you want to call it, I thought that they did a good job.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, the reason that we're going to talk about covers is partly because of one of the famous covers from the guy in this movie, but it could go good or bad depending on where it is on our lists here, Chip.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do the top 5 covers you like or the top 5 covers you don't like first? Maybe we should do don't like because then if people get butt
Sure.
hurt,
Yeah.
then we can swoop back.
Yeah. Hang
and
out.
win their affections.
I do have a feeling that some of my answers are not popular answers.
Yeah, mine too. So why don't we do it where you do your 5, or you do your bottom, like you do your 5th, I'll do my 5th, 4th, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna steal from this other podcast. If I have the same one as you that's higher up, we'll wait till it's You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like if I say something and it's my number 5, but it's your number 1, I'll wait till get to your number 1 to talk about that song. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you don't say anything. I
I'll
just
just say
tell you.
I'll say the song, and but if it's my 5 and you have it at number 1,
I stop you.
well, you just stop me and then you go to your 5 and then we'll talk about it when it gets to wherever it is on your list so that we can talk about it at the
Gotcha.
same time. All right. So what's
Gotcha.
your number 5 or do you have one?
I have 3, unfortunately.
All right,
Do
well,
you
I'm
have
gonna do.
5? You have
I have
5?
5, but I kind of had to stretch on it because I couldn't really think of them. But I'll do my 4 and 5 and 4 real quick. My number 5 is "Sweet Dreams" by Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
I never liked that song. I never got the hype for it when it came out. It's
Yeah.
whatever. I what do you think of that song?
So I was not like a Manson fan, but I liked the sounds they were getting. Like
Hmm.
I thought that the drums and the heavy guitars, I thought his record sounded good.
Well,
And I
that's the
thought his
thing
shit was
is,
heavy as like I liked the heaviness of it, but I was never
well,
a
"Beautiful
big
People" is that song's that's a jam for sure. But "Sweet Dream" I think wasn't that the big one? I mean, that was the big one here. Like, was
uh
that the one that he exploded with?
I think Beautiful People
Really?
here. Yeah.
Huh.
Somebody from the US back me up.
Yeah, is there any Americans listening who can attest to what song was Marilyn Manson's first big hit in the US? It was for sure "Sweet Dreams" in Canada.
I feel like the first time I heard of him was because of I feel like because of Beautiful People.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if anyone responds. Yeah, they see. My number 4, which is funny because this was my ringtone on MSN Live forever, but it is "Faith" by Limp Bizkit.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's not another one I don't really care for that much.
Yeah.
I think I liked it back in the day, but I don't think my enjoyment of Limp Bizkit as a whole really lasted too long.
Yeah, I could see that. It's,
Mechanical Albums or Mechanical Animals. That did that have "I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me"?
I think so.
They're saying "Beautiful People" was bigger than "Sweet Dreams." Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Mechanical Animals was probably my favorite record of his. It's the like more spacey one. It's got
Is that the one where he's got the woman suit on?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Great Big Wide
Dope
World or
Show.
something like that. Yeah, Dope Show.
Yes, I never liked
It,
Dope Show.
I don't like that song, but there's like some pretty cool spacey songs on that record.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Manson fan in general.
I'm not
I
either.
like "Beautiful People." I don't like the drugs with the drugs like me, and that's probably it. All right, Chip, we're up to number 3 then. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is Johnny Cash.
you're
Hurt.
gonna have you're gonna have to wait because I got a little bit higher than you, Chip. So I'll just do my number 3 real quick, and then we'll talk about whenever we'll do your number 2 next. But anyway, my number 3 is Evanescence, "The Chain." Have you,
Oh,
dude?
that's
That's a terrible song. And
you
I
don't.
don't even really like Fleetwood Mac that much. I mean, I'm not a huge, but their version is way better.
Yeah, I thought I was
Like
gonna say
way better.
you're not a. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't call myself like a big fan, but I think Fleetwood Mac's pretty good fucking band. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
what she did to that song.
the
I'm not,
Chain.
yeah, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, no, that cover's awful. Just brutal.
My number 2
Yeah.
is Zombie by Bad Wolves.
Oh shoot, I never thought of that one.
Dude, I hate that song so bad. And so Miser, like a band from Dallas,
Yeah.
did that cover like it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
And now like I don't know, dude. I hate it. I hate that song.
The problem with the covering that song is so, I mean, it's obviously kind of iconic, but it's also really basic. And so when
Yeah.
you cover it and you just play it a little bit heavier, I don't know. I don't like that in covers generally.
I also feel like it was being rammed down my throat.
Well,
And
yeah, that part too.
that really irritated the shit out of me. Like the playing it constantly. And
Yeah,
it
let's.
off of what merit? Like why are we we're just going to play this song to death? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, drove me crazy.
Um. Yeah, I mean, I've only heard it once. I don't even know if I've heard the whole thing, to be honest with
Dude,
you, because that band,
they played it constantly here.
yeah, it's weird because the Miser one is decent too, but I think it got played a bunch there too, did it not, Miser?
No, I saw them open up for
Well, the funny thing
Default.
about Miser is they were not on our label, but the Texas rep for Hollywood Records was pushing Miser.
Yeah,
So whenever we played shows in Texas, Miser usually played on it.
right on.
So, and then we knew they were pushing that song a lot.
Oh, I didn't. I
Wait a
wasn't.
minute. Did Red cover Hemorrhage by Fuel?
I hadn't heard that.
They did a decent cover of Ordinary World.
Nice.
Anyway, all right. So my number 2 is Johnny Cash Hurt. So let's
Yeah.
discuss that.
All right. So, do you want to go?
Well, I'll just say the original is so good. I don't understand why people love the cover so much. Like
Yeah.
the original is one of his best songs.
It's a masterpiece.
I mean, the emotion in it, everything about it. And
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Nine Inch Nails fan, but I can admit that. I mean, you go back to Pretty Hate Machine as a way ahead of its time when that
Dude,
came out.
dude. That's like 1988. He's
I
writing
know
that
that's
record.
not that song's not on that album, but I'm just saying, like as
No,
a
no, no,
whole.
I know. Dude, I was gonna make the same point. Like, not to get on a Nine Inch Nails tangent, because I'm not the biggest fan. But if you look at, I think that album was released in like '89.
Yeah,
So like he's working on those sounds in the late '80s, dude.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit would sound fresh today. Like a genius ahead of his time. And
Mhm.
that song, incredible. In fact, so
You talking
I
about Hurt?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the original. I covered that song like when I was a kid. I don't know, maybe 20, but
Hmm.
like put a drum beat and like made it similar slow tempo, but like heavy big chords. Just to like, do something different with it. I loved that song.
Hmm.
And then this Johnny Cash version, I people tell me like, oh, like that Johnny Cash song. That drives me crazy. They'd be like, oh, Nine Inch Nails covered it. I don't that
Yeah,
You've heard that before, right?
yeah.
And that drives me
Well,
crazy.
what I've seen, honestly, what I think is even worse than that is people saying this is the this is the epitome of this song now. It's not even a Nine Inch Nails song anymore. Johnny Cash owns this song. That
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot more.
Dude, I think Trent said that, but I
That's a rumor. I don't think anyone actually said that because I saw some people arguing about that too.
well, here's the thing. Even if he did say it, like Johnny Cash is a legend. I said I'm not a fan, but I'm not gonna be disrespectful about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a lot, like he's a pioneer. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So like the Sirius channel on Elvis, like, you know what I mean? I'll probably never achieve the fame that Johnny Cash did. I get
Yeah.
that. But that being said, I feel like he's just being nice. Like even if he did say that, like,
Yeah.
like Johnny Cash passed not long after recording that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And what's Trent Reznor going to go up there and go, yeah, this is garbage?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's hella disrespectful.
You know what's funny is this just total side tangent. Do you know that Trent Reznor wrote the music or co-wrote the music for that Soul movie on Pixar and it was nominated for
You
an
know,
Oscar for it?
I heard he'd been writing for Disney for years. He's like their head of
Yeah.
and didn't he get hired by
Yeah, he's wrote some other written some other stuff too that I can't remember right now, but he's got a lot of stuff like that.
He's like over Apple Music or some shit now, or
Yeah,
no?
I mean he's super talented. I'm not gonna just not my necessarily thing, but definitely uh pretty hate machines.
Oh, he left Apple Music.
I
Anyway,
think he did
God,
win the Oscar. No, I don't know if he won the Oscar because I think the song that won was the one from Judas and the Black Messiah, and the yeah, I don't know. Anyway, regardless
so
of that,
not a fan of that cover,
yeah, that covers.
and I wouldn't hate it if it wasn't for the fact that I have to argue with people that it's better than
The
the
thing I don't like
original.
about it is that it's kind of more almost spoken word.
Yeah. Well, he did a spoken word record.
Wow, that's like William Shatner stuff, man.
He did. No, this is like super woke, man. I don't know if you read about this, but he did a spoken word against like the mistreatment of Native Americans.
Who
Spoken
did?
word record. Johnny Cash back in like the 60s, I think,
Hmm.
which would have been like
You know what's
pretty
even
pretty progressive.
no, I mean, you know what's even another. The only actually thing I heard about Johnny Cash is I used to listen to this band when I was a kid. There was this punky band called One Bad Pig, and they covered Man in Black, and Johnny Cash like talks on it, and they actually got him to do it. Like I thought it was when I heard it, I thought it was like a sample.
What was it on?
The band's called One Bad Pig. They're like a Christian punk band. I used to listen to it when I was younger, and they had Man in Black was a cover, but it wasn't like a straight up cover. And Johnny Cash is like talking in it, and I just thought it was a sample. But then I found pictures of them all hanging out, like this band and Johnny Cash.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
random, so random, but that is cool. Anyway, his cover of "Hurt" blows. All right, I think we have the same number one. I can almost guarantee we have the same number
Oh, I
one.
know we do.
This is
We've
probably the one that most people would be like, I hate
the
these guys.
or dude, I've had people be like, "Hey man, you need to check this out. You're really gonna dig it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, then they say that song, and then I have to make a choice. Do I break their heart and go on a rant about how much I hate this song?
Dude,
Or,
this song like personally offends me.
dude, I hate this song.
All right, so my number one and Chip's number one, I can already tell, is Sound of Silence
By
by
Disturbed.
Disturbed.
Dude, I hate. How are you gonna do a Simon and Garfunkel cover and not have any vocal harmonies?
Yeah, dude,
How?
Simon and Garfunkel's version is so good.
Yeah, I hate sound. Like their version is so bad, or his whatever. And it's not that I hate the arrangement. It's the
Yeah,
choice of it being just one voice.
yeah.
And
Isn't
to your
there? There's
point,
no harmonies on it.
no.
I mean, nothing that's gonna be it, which is kind of weird because he's very harmony based. I think usually because he's got that. I mean, he's got that very like '80s kind of voice. I find.
But a lot more lower end body.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the ah. It's more of like a
yeah. What's that meme? Did I see that meme where it's like that I sent you with it's a picture of him and it's like, remember when the guy from Disturbed was recording and his mom came in and beat his ass? Anyway, I to be fair, I think the first Disturbed album is like is perfect. I think it's almost a perfect album
it's with the exception of like 42 seconds.
of this. Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
long is that?
That part,
Yeah.
I don't know, too long. I can't believe they still do it live that way. I really can't. But anyway,
Dude. That
yeah, I don't like that song. I think that's a song that those Simon and Garfunkel, like their voices are just too good.
yeah.
Garfunkel's voice is like a beautiful. He's got a beautiful voice. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't get the hype of that. But
Yeah.
they covered "Midlife Crisis" by Faith No More. What was the one that on the first album was "Shout"? I think they covered "Shout."
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that one's good. And they did "Land of Confusion." That one's whatever. That one's fine.
I didn't know they did Land of Confusion.
Yeah, I
The
think they must have
Genesis
a bunch
stuff.
of yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway, looks like some people agree with us. That's good.
yeah. Everyone else
I
tuned
mean,
out.
people can. Yeah, everyone else is like, screw Parabel. Those guys suck. Um. Oh, Simple Man by Shinedown. I'm not crazy about that one either.
Yeah.
I toured with them. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But
Yeah. Do you like Skinner though?
I mean, I'm not a big classic rock guy, so
Yeah. They're good guitar playing.
Live's cover of Ring of Fire. Man, Live. Remember Live, Chip?
Dude, that album Throwing Copper was integral to my growing up.
Dude, when every dance that I went to as a kid in high school, they play that uh the placenta song.
Oh, Lightning Crashes.
Lightning crashes.
Lightning Crashes. He had such a weird enunciation.
Yeah. I used to cover the song Lakini's Juice. Remember that song?
Yeah.
We should do that song again. That's a pretty simple song that's cool.
Yeah. See here.
Someone said that's the only good live song. I don't know about that. They got some good songs.
Dude, that whole record's pretty solid, man. Really.
I liked I Alone. That's a cool song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waitress. Was there a song
I
called Waitress? Come on, baby, leave some change behind. Oh yeah, Turn My Head.
and then
Oh yeah. A gall. So the funny thing about that album is or not the funny thing, but I used to work at Pizza Hut. That was my first like job. And that album was played so much when I was working there.
dude,
Just
that I'm telling you, that album was on repeat for a while.
that album, and then the Demon Knight soundtrack, which is where Cemetery Gates was on that, which is a great song. But anyway, all right, Chip, let's do our top 5 covers.
Starting with the bottom.
Yeah, starting at 5. I'm pretty sure we'll have no matches on this.
Probably not. So I didn't put them in order because like the hate is easy to organize,
Yeah,
but the love's a little harder. Um, let's see
that's
here.
like that's almost a good lyric there, Chip. The hate is not easy to organize, but the love is a little harder.
No, the hate is easy to
Oh
organize.
yeah, whatever. I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, whatever my lyrics.
It's or whatever.
You whatever my lyrics.
Yeah, hate love, good lyrics.
Yeah, yeah. Take that.
Um,
Now run with it.
uh,
All right. I'm just gonna go with. I think it's. Hang on, I need to look it up. Do you know the Breaking Benjamin cover of Depeche Mode? It's "Enjoy the Silence," right?
that's crazy. I thought we were gonna have one that was in common, but uh, go on. So they covered
Yeah.
"Enjoy the Silence."
hmm
That's funny. That's a song that a lot of people cover too. I think Lacuna Coil did a cover of that,
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
and I used to. I listened to a guy in Canada named Matthew Good, and he did a cover of that too. So they did a cover of that, like, and released it, or was that just a live thing?
No, it's on their on their greatest hits.
Oh,
The
really?
Shallow Bay
Is
best
it
of
like
Breaking.
electric full rock?
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. I didn't even know that existed.
dude, it's pretty tight, man. Dun, 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 dun.
Now they do it all.
Down, 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 dun, 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 down, down, down. I mean, it's very staccato, like tight
Yeah.
bass notes on the guitar. It's pretty dope.
All right. My number 5. I this was hard because you probably have so many covers that you know, but you can't think of them when you try to make these lists. But anyway, my number 5, which is a Working Class Hero by Green Day.
Okay.
You ever hear that one?
No, I haven't. I mean, I know the song.
Well, that's a pretty good version.
Right on.
Um, I think I heard it first. Like they played it on a show, some kind of awards show, and I caught it. I was like, yeah, solid as a rock.
Nice.
All right, what's your number 4, Chip?
Going to be Deftones Drive.
Drive.
Yeah, you know the Cars song?
Don't they have a song called Drive?
Shut up
Far,
and
drive me far away. That I used to cover that back in my high school days.
isn't it
Shut up and drive.
far?
Yeah. Away.
Yeah. I
This
don't care.
time.
I don't care where, just
Then
far.
To be fair, that could be a lot of Deftones songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't narrow it down. I like Deftones though.
Yeah, I don't really like Deftones.
You don't?
Not really, but
Then you won't like this song. It's very Chino.
yeah, I can already picture how it goes. Who's gonna drive you home? Like that?
He does some cool stuff sometimes, man, with like the notes he chooses to hold. I like Chino, but that's okay. It's okay.
We might have to talk about them one day.
Yeah.
That's your number 4. All right,
Yeah.
my number 4 is Jeff Buckley, Hallelujah.
That's a good one, man.
That song in general is just a good song. I mean, it's like a top tier song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tons of people cover it.
Yeah.
You could probably find we should cover it at some point, even though I don't think we'd pull. I don't think we could add much to it at this point.
Nah, dude, full rock.
Yeah, this is as heavy as it gets. Just screaming the whole time.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah. All right, what's your number 3, Chip?
The APC version of Imagine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say another APC, which is in my honorable mention.
Is it?
We could talk about later, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. We've talked about that one before. I'm not a personally big a fan of that one.
I like how dark it is. I like it.
Yeah. What do the people listening think about Imagine by APC?
It's a polarizing song. I know a lot of people don't like it.
Well, I think we've talked about it before. I just found that that's kind of when that album was not my favorite.
Oh, I hate that album.
I don't think it was yours either. So
No, I hate that record. That record pissed me off.
the one song is good, the Pacifist, or what's that song?
I don't know. I probably didn't make it to it.
You probably like that. I can't think of one.
I mean, the only other good song that I remember was like the remake of the song off of 13th Step, the Counting Bodies Like Sheep. Just like redone.
Oh yeah, that was not. They had a single off that aside from Imagine, but I can't think of what it was called. I thought it was something that started with a P. But anyway. All right, my number 3, which would probably be the only one left here that you could possibly have, is Man Who Sold the World.
I did have that on my list.
That's on your main list?
I did not rank it though.
Oh, okay. So that's one of your honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just a good. I'm not like a big Nirvana fan. It's funny. I'm not a big fan of a lot of bands, but that song's pretty cool. That whole album's pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, my sister was a huge Nirvana fan. She was like right at that age range. So I grew up listening to a lot of it. She drove me to school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I got Nirvana posters around here somewhere. But I mean, I grew up with that shit on my wall and idolizing him.
No, Pet was a different album. That was on 13th Step.
Yeah, but they did remake. I think that's the one that they're saying that they remade. Maybe it was Pet.
Well, yeah, they called it Counting Bodies, like whatever.
Yeah.
I got a question for you just about Nirvana in general.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when they kind of busted on the scene and like changed music forever?
Like, I mean, I'm 83, so
I don't remember when they came around, but
92 and 93 would have been when that was all happening.
So, do you remember what you were listening to as a at that age. I don't know how old you would have been,
I
but
was listening to classic rock.
so when they came, so that makes sense. I was listening to like Metallica, Pantera. So what did you think when they kind of came? Did you like it, or were you kind of offended by it?
No, I liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I
Because
was like,
I was aware. So I like had I on one hand my mom who listened to more like pop and soul and like Motown
mhm,
and like more of like what was going on with like R&B and pop music and stuff like that. So like if I was with my mom, I was hearing either what was going on at the time or like older Motown ish kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And but like with my dad was like total rock and roll guy. And then plus like whenever I was home, I had access to his vinyl. So it was full of stuff from like Skinner, Clapton, Doobie Brothers, um uh, like all the old like Clapton bands that he like listened to like
hmm,
Blues Breakers, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, Blind Faith, Cream, you know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah,
old rock stuff. And then my sister listened to like she's born in 77. She's like 6 years older than me. So she was like listening to all the Nirvana and the grunge stuff. And
yeah,
so I was aware of like kind of what was in between those two, like the pop of the 90s, and it didn't have any guitar in it. And I was like a guitar nut. Like I've
hmm,
always been obsessed with listening to what the guitar is doing. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So like I was just happy that what was being played on the radio that was being made today was like starting to have guitar back in it again. You know what I
hmm,
mean?
yeah. No, I mean, was Pearl? Who came first, Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Like honestly, like all those bands were recording records in the same time period. Like
Yeah,
Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Nirvana were all putting out records from like and Alice in Chains from like 90 to 92.
yeah.
Like if
I
you
mean, I
look at
liked
their
Pearl
first
Jam, but wasn't as big in Nirvana.
I liked I liked
Some
all of it.
somebody wrote Safety Suit has a good version of Hallelujah. Yeah, their version is pretty good. Safety Suit is one of the best concerts I've been to. So I saw them at Scout Bar in Houston. It's like a smaller venue, and they killed it.
So yeah, Ultra Mega OK by Soundgarden released
That's
in 1988.
hmm.
Bad Motorfinger 1992.
Hey, that song by Perfect Circle is called Passive.
Was it?
You probably know that song.
I'll have to check it out. I'm not gonna play it on the stream
No,
because
no, no. But that was probably one of the only like straightforward songs from.
yeah.
Anyway, okay, what number are we on? I just did Man Who Stole. Okay, what's yours? I guess two. I think you're on two, right?
311 Love Song.
Oh man, I could have put that in ones I don't like, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like Think 311.
Have you ever
I like
seen them live?
no,
They jam, dude.
I probably wouldn't go to their shows since I don't like any of their other music.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
Finger 11?
I don't really know any of their stuff.
Anyway, no, what was their big song? What was 311's like Down? Was that a big
Down and Beautiful Disasters. And Amber. Amber was huge.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I never got into those guys.
Dude, they're so good.
Really, you're a big 311 fan?
I mean, for a while I was.
So you've seen them live?
Yes, several times.
How old were you?
The first time I saw him, I might have still been a teenager.
Yeah. So I mean that's like a band that wouldn't have been played here much when I was younger, if
Dude,
at all.
they jam, bro. Like they're good live.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, man. And I'm telling you, like they got like just killer rhythm section. Like their drummer and their bass player are so tight. Like
Aren't they kind of
unbelievable.
like what kind of music would you consider them? Like kind of
Like you want me
swingy?
to describe them or give them
I
a
mean, I know
genre?
what they are. Yeah, I know I know the songs, but they're kind of like
So they're like hip hop drumming and like kind of funky
Don't they have
bass.
some ska kind of sounds to them?
Yeah,
Not like
a
trumpets and stuff, but like that whole like tick tick tick, you know, that kind of stuff? Or do they not have that?
yeah, no, I mean,
But I know they have
it's
like
really
distorted
more of
stuff.
it's really more of their reggae influence more than ska.
Yeah. Like yeah. Well, yeah,
It
reggae is part of ska too, but yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're
but
saying.
it's more like back to the roots as a part of, like, coming off of ska that more comes back directly from reggae
Yeah.
and, like, metal guitars and, like, dude, and good guitar playing too. Like,
Mhm.
I think it's Tim Mahoney, he's a good guitar player. They're all really good. Even the dude who raps, he, like, lays down sick harmonies vocally live.
Yeah.
Like, they're on point. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
dude.
Hmm. All right. That was your number 2?
Yeah, it's my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is super obscure, sort of. It's a cover of Ricochet by Starset, and the band that covers it's called the Shadow People. You ever heard that?
No, obviously, no. No one's heard of that.
Dude, you need to check that out at some point.
It's a Starset cover?
Yeah, the cover is Starset Ricochet.
Wait, so Starset is performing?
No, the band is covering
Star
Starset
Okay,
Ricochet, and the
alright.
band's called the Shadow People, or just
Oh,
Shadow People, or I don't know what they're called.
yeah, it'll come up, I'm sure.
Anyway, that's just a good cover, but it's kinda the mix is kinda a little violin. It's got violins and stuff in it, but it's good. It's good stuff.
Right on.
All right, Chip, your number 1 favorite cover all time.
I don't know that I wanna say it because it's gonna be the same as yours.
No, it's not.
No, I know. It's definitely not.
What is it?
Mine is All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
See, I wouldn't even have known that was a cover.
Yeah, it's a Bob Dylan song.
Oh, Bobby D. Bobby D?
Yeah, Bobby D.
So, okay, I do know that. I know the original too then, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm not a
I mean,
Dylan fan.
you gotta be a fan of Bob Dylan to like anything he does. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think you can just casually like him.
I
I
mean
don't get it personally. I personally don't get it. So,
yeah.
but anyway, his cover, I can hear the two of them in my head, and I can definitely attest that the Hendrix one is better.
Yeah.
Even if I couldn't hear the Bob Dylan in my head, I would probably be able to guarantee that the cover is better. Lifehouse actually did a good Bob Dylan cover. But anyway,
Really?
of the song, I don't
Is it
remember. It was
"Don't Think Twice, It's
it,
Alright"?
it was in Shrek. It's in one of the Shrek movies. You
Oh,
Belong to Me, I think, or anyway.
really?
So
Huh.
that's obviously got his signature sound of the um Jimi Hendrix, right? Like the soloing and all that.
Oh, yeah, the big interlude in the middle of it, he goes, like, kinda a little,
Well,
what'd you call it? Kinda a little trippy in the middle.
wait a minute. Neil Diamond's cover of Red Oh, UB40 covering Red Red Wine. Yeah, dude, that was my high school dance too. Anyway, um so that's what you would have been listening to as a kid then? Would you have been listening to that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. See, I'm not big I never got into the Hendrix really. See, this is my experience with classic rock was I used to work at a gas station and that's all they played.
Yeah.
So,
You
like
associate it with work and being lame.
yeah. It's all
Yeah.
the man. That's the man's music, Jim. That's what the
I don't
man
know.
listens to when he's paying you minimum wage.
Yeah, I don't know, like, nobody, like I didn't know many people my age that were listening to it, so it was kinda counterculture for me.
Oh, not lot of people were listening to Hendrix?
Yeah, or I mean, not just Hendrix. I mean, I'm not like I was a Hendrix fan too, but like I went through different phases, and a lot of it had to do with like wanting to, for periods of time, like learn people's styles and kind of like figure out how they made the noises that they made and
So, which would you say came first then, listening to that type of music or playing guitar? Or was it like
playing guitar. Oh
so
no,
you
no, I would have heard it, but like once I started playing, I started listening to like I was of the age where I was listening to music of my own.
Mm,
like will and volition, as opposed to just being exposed to it. I feel like there's a
right.
difference between being exposed to music
Yeah.
and listening to music. Like when you get to the point where you like, and I feel like no one does this anymore. And we were talking about this the other day, but I used to sit and listen to music like and just stare at the liner notes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like reading the lyrics or looking at the pictures of the, I'd love if they had like pictures of the gear or shit that they used, but
Hmm.
just listen, like critically listen to like parts of a song. And I don't know that like,
Well, you can't even do that now because back then you bought that album. That's the only album you got for a little while, probably. You know what I
right.
mean?
What was the only new thing that you had? So yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you were. But
Well,
the other thing too is like I wish that I had an old school iPod. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I hate driving around listening to music with my phone because all it takes is one news alert, one text message,
yeah.
one phone call. And I'm not saying I don't want my phone to ring. Like I'm fine with my phone ringing and looking and seeing. I don't want to ignore somebody that's like needs help or is in an emergency or whatever with
Hmm.
my family. But
Well, you
like
can actually
it
iPods have gone up because people want iPods now. So like you could the resale value on them is actually they're kind of expensive now.
That's funny. Yeah, I want one and not connected to internet or get alerts or anything on it so I can just listen to music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If your thing was an iPod, it would be a shuffle.
I
It's
saw
for
him. I saw his thing was so small.
iPod shuffle. That's for girls. Dude, you know what's funny about that is we played the Junos, I think, or something. I don't know. We did something and we got an iPod shuffle as like a gift.
Mm,
Dude, I loved that thing.
they're
That's the
cool.
only version of an iPod I've ever owned. Oh no, I owned when it was like a screen one too.
The touch.
Yeah. But
Dude, I loved mine. I had a classic, the one with the wheel,
yeah.
and all it does is like play songs.
Yeah. Well, the thing I liked about the shuffle was that I had no clue what song was going to come. I had no really, unless I memorized the playlist, it would always be kind of random, which I liked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I remember like having one. I didn't even. This was before Bluetooth was a thing. It was either headphones or plugged into an aux cord in your car.
yeah.
It's crazy to think
Um,
about that now.
oh, it's super crazy how much stuff is advanced in the short time that, well, actually, the long time I feel like I've been alive.
Right?
uh, but yeah, I mean, I've lived through the time where if you wanted to hear a song off the radio, you had to sit there and sit by the radio and hope you caught it
Right? No,
so
I
you could
remember that. Me and my sister used to. Hell, we'd call into our little radio station when we lived in Arkansas when we were kids and request songs, and then
Did
we'd
they
have
ever
to
get
like,
played?
yeah,
That's funny. Uh, all right, my number one. Someone's already actually mentioned it. My number one is Breaking Benjamin. Who Wants to Live Forever?
yeah. You like the
Uh,
original?
I think the Breaking Benjamin's better.
Yeah.
Um, the original's all right. I mean, it's fine. It's the Highlander, I think, is where I remember that song from. Um, but dude, the harmonies he throws in there at the end are some of my favorite things. Do you know that song? Do you know what? Have you heard it? I mean, you've heard
Mm-mm.
it. You
His
never heard?
version?
You
I
never
don't
heard
think
Breaking Ben?
I don't think I've heard their version.
Yeah, because it came out. It came out around the same time as their second album because they're on Hollywood and Hollywood owns the Queen Library. So they did a
Oh,
cover of it and they did like a compilation with other artists. But no, he kills that song. So good. I tried to watch a performance of it on YouTube, and Ben didn't even sing. The
really?
other guy was singing the whole cover, and
Did
Ben
I
I think came in and did some harmonies maybe.
did I not tell you about that?
No, I know that's kind of more how it is nowadays. That other dude sings more,
Super weak, dude.
but yeah, he comes in and does the harmonies, which is honestly the best part of that cover. Is the harmonies? It kind of breaks down, and then they kick it back in, and Ben's doing the harmony and the main vocal, and it's just great. It's so good. You'll have to check that out sometime.
I'm going to.
Um,
Yeah, dude. So when it's been several years ago, Kels and I drove to Austin, and because like she'd never seen him live before,
who?
Breaking
Oh,
Benjamin,
okay, yeah,
and I was going on and on because I mean I've seen them several times and they've been pristine.
yeah.
Dude, Ben didn't sing half the show, man. It was like,
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I was like, oh, come on, bro.
I heard that because he's got some voice issues, or he's having some like trouble or something, is what I'd heard. But that's what the comments on that video were. Like, I mean, that's you got to take that with a grain of salt. But
Well, maybe.
anyway, somebody asked actually real quick here about if Tori Amos. So when we covered Sarah McLachlan and Tori Amos, you have to get at that point anyway. You had to get some kind of permission. So Sarah McLachlan, her manager approved it, and Tori Amos's manager approved it. And Tori Amos's manager at the time was her dad. So, and he was like a really old guy, and he was cool with us covering it. So, but no, she didn't. Well, actually, she messaged us and said, "This is way better than my version." What's that John Petrucci where it's like, I'm crap. You're crap.
He's like, so then you're gonna want to bump the metronome up to say like 3,000, and then go ahead and then if so if you can't do that straight away, just go ahead and put your shit on eBay because you suck. You're never gonna get it.
Dude, those are some of the best. That's so early like video kind of stuff on the internet. Early YouTube stuff.
It's hilarious, dude. It's still funny.
Yeah, we're still doing the state by songs. It's all finalized this week, and we're just waiting for the video to be done, and then when I can go to the US to sign it and all that kind of stuff. But that is a whole thing anyway. So what's some honorable mentions, Chip? Do you have some honorable mentions here?
Yeah, well, one of them was God, it was one of yours. I don't remember anymore. Man Who Sold the World.
Yeah.
Landslide by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
The acoustic lead tone in the middle of that song. So it's got like a little solo. The playing is very subdued. It is like it's not over the top. It's not crazy fast or anything like really that takes away from the beauty of the song.
Mm-hmm.
But it is recorded so pristine.
You're talking about Smashing Pumpkins?
Yes.
Yeah.
The lead sound that I'm telling you, the tone they get out of that acoustic guitar is beautiful. I encourage anybody who wants to hear an absolutely gorgeous, over the top, pretty acoustic tone, listen to Landslide by Smashing Pumpkins. His voice isn't for everybody. I get it, but man, that acoustic is it's God, it sounds so good.
Yeah, no, that's decent. Any other ones? I'll give a couple here.
Go ahead.
Perfect Circle, The Nurse Who, whatever. The Nurse song.
Whose song is that?
I can't remember what the original.
Say hello.
Yeah, it's covered by somebody, but anyway.
I didn't know that.
Their version's good. I got Mad World, that's a classic.
Oh, that's a good one.
That song, remember that song Torn by Natalie Imbruglia?
Yeah.
That's a cover. That's a good song. I actually think Miley Cyrus does a decent cover of Jolene by what's her name? Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
It's a decent cover. Smooth Criminal. Okay. Remember that? You ever hear that one, Chip? Dude, that song was everywhere whenever it was. I couldn't get away from that song.
You know, funny, my 11-year-old loves that song.
The Alien Ant Farm version?
Yeah.
That is funny. How did he even find that?
I don't know.
Because that song went from constantly everywhere to just nowhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere in my area anyway. MXPX Take on Me. That's a pretty obscure one. But did you ever listen to them?
Not really.
MXPX.
No, I know who they are, but not really.
And then the last one I got on here is Coal Chamber Shock the Monkey. That's a good cover. There's some cool bass tones in that song.
Dude, have you heard
The rest of their music is it's something. The rest of it. I like the Loco song, but that's about it.
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, there was a South Park where Stan's trying to get Wendy back, so they tell him to go to her house, and he holds the boombox over his head, and they said, "Play Peter Gabriel," so he puts on "Shock the Monkey."
That song is ridiculous.
Honorable mention for a cover I hate is Pearl Jam's cover of that 50s song.
Last Kiss?
Yeah, I hate that song.
Yeah.
I just don't like that.
I did a wedding once and that was their song. So I had to listen to it like 5,000 times when I was editing their wedding video.
Yeah, I don't like that song.
All right. One last thing here with covers. What's the weirdest cover song you think you've ever played? I got a doozy that you would not expect.
I had to play this crazy ass long Elton John like song that had, I mean, I've played in some stuff that's been pretty complex and weird, like Chicago Tribute or just like, but this was I think it was Love Lies Bleeding and Funeral for a Friend, which was like a 2-part. I don't know how long it is, but it's a Elton John piece that's like really got a lot of changes. And
where were you playing that?
At for this dude's wedding that like demanded that our band, like he really wanted our band to play there, and he just like asked for like a couple of specific songs, and the rest is like heavy rock. But he just like wanted.
And how long? Like 10 minutes?
That song?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think it's quite that long, but it's. Let's see here.
Well, that is something that I don't even know what that would be like to begin with. So
let's see here. Yeah. So Elton John's got like a YouTube video that's 9 minutes and 52 seconds. That's that Funeral for a Friend / Love Lies Bleeding.
Is it piano based?
It's like synth, piano, and guitars.
That's weird. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
All right. I actually have two. First one's Bad Touch by what was that band called? I can't. Bloodhound Gang.
Oh, nice.
I used to cover that, and then I used to cover Lola by the Kinks. You know that song, Chip?
Yeah, of course I know that song.
Song is so ridiculous.
La 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 Lola.
Yeah, what a goofy song that is. Some weird lyrics in that one.
Yeah.
All right, Chip. Well, I got one more thing we can look at here real quick, and we can call it a day unless there's any interesting questions or whatever. But let me share this picture real quick. Ding dong song.
Or Bad Touch.
Bad Touch, man. All right, buddy. This is this thing.
Dude, I could go deep.
What do you mean you could go deep? This is the Texas edition.
I know, but it would be very easy for me to go 3, 4, 7, and 8. I mean,
3, 4, 7, and 8. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like crawfish. I think
dude, that's mine for sure.
I think they stink.
I don't get crawfish at all. They're just like they kind of taste like shrimp, and there's just so much work to them.
And I feel like it's cheating to have the Texas Rangers on there because I'm in Houston, so I could give two shits about the Texas Rangers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you don't like Dr. Pepper?
No.
Crazy, man.
I
like my
mean,
favorite. That's one of my top tier sodas. That's S tier soda, Chip.
but
Uh
there's so many other doctors from around the world to help you.
oh, you're
You've got
Mr. Pibb. I get
you
it. You're
got
like Mr.
you got
Pibb.
no, I'm just
The
kidding.
dude didn't even get his degree.
Right? No, but you got Dr. Thunder, Dr. K, Dr. R.
That's true.
No, I'm just kidding.
Um
That's like
my
Kirkland if you have it.
Kirkland.
You know Aaron in The Office
Oh, yeah.
when she goes to get in Robert California gives her the shot.
Oh, what does she say?
She's like, "Can I get a soda? Kirkland if you have it."
I totally missed that.
It's like some crazy ass off brand. Like who requests Kirk? You know what I mean?
I've never even heard of Kirkland. Um,
How dare you have a pick of King George? See, I couldn't. That's
I didn't
number
even know. I didn't know who that was. So is that George Strait?
yeah.
Yeah, mine would be 4. I mean, 8 is kind of a cheat too for me because I don't. It's whatever. 9 would be. I don't drink beer, so that's an easy one. But mine would be 4, 8, 9, and I mean, country music's whatever. But yeah,
489.
4, 8, 9 is what I'm going with.
Yeah, I don't drink really much anymore, but I wouldn't want to like say like forever. I never want to ever have a beer again.
I thought you only drank Mike's Hard Lemonades. That's your- Every time you go somewhere, it's like, hey, you got the MHL.
And if they say no,
Yeah, you're at it.
about face, I'm out.
Oh man, it's like that office where they're
If
at
they
the
don't
church
have,
service. Well, yeah, that too. But we're at the church service and they want the lunch, and they're all mad that Jim and Pam didn't provide lunch.
right?
And he's like, the family's like, let's go when they know there's not enough food for them.
What is it? Parker Clan, whatever. In the van, rendezvous at the van.
Oh man,
That shit's so funny.
um,
9 does suck.
yeah.
No, I was gonna say they don't have Mike's Hard Lemonade. I send it back.
Yeah.
How do you send it?
How do you
I
send
send
back?
it back.
How do you send back? What would you even call that? A hard liquor, or what would? How do you send back a hard fruity liquor drink? Yeah, I don't drink alcohol at all, and I pretty much never have. It's all really gross to me. So I don't even know what that would taste like. Like the last time I drank was when I thought your brother was bringing me water.
Dude, that I was gonna bring that up, but I didn't know if you wanted that talked about. But
And I don't really consider that drinking. I just took a big sip of something thinking it was water, and it was disgusting, whatever it was.
dude, didn't you take like a giant gulp of straight liquor from my
Yeah,
brother's
just
cup?
straight up. Yeah, and I was so gross.
Dude, he's something else.
He is something else. Oh, it's the I miss original flavor. All right, well, that's what's the first one? Brisket?
They ruined it with coconut.
Zima.
Yeah, number 1 is brisket.
Not really a big fan of that either.
Brisket can be really good. So
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to ever say I don't want any more brisket ever.
Yeah, but okay, so what would if you could only keep 3?
Oh, definitely tacos.
Yeah,
Like,
tacos for sure. For sure.
And
tacos.
then Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah, Buc-ee's.
And then brisket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably go 2, 5, 7.
Huh?
Is what I would be.
Yeah. Dude, like 2 and 5 though. Like if you told me 2, I'd say like I could only keep 2 of these. Like,
Yeah.
2 and 5. Like no question. Without
Really, I didn't know you had such a passion for Buc-ee's.
Dude, Buc-ee's?
Yeah, Buc-ee's.
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 Have a good night, Cassandra. Thanks for tuning in. Nah, dude, Buc-ee's is the bomb, man. If you're on a road trip in Texas, you got to stop at Buc-ee's if you drive by one. It's like mandatory.
What's the thing they have there that's like a bun that's like a meat in it?
Hamburger?
No. It's like a pop. It's like a hot pocket, only way better.
It's not
there'll always be like sausage. You get like boudin.
I don't. You're not talking about a
I'm talking,
kolache,
yeah,
right?
kolache, man. Kolaches, those
Oh,
are
they got
so
kolaches.
good.
They got kolaches
Yeah,
everywhere.
I know they have them everywhere, but like that's what I always get when I go to the Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
Kolache, yeah, those are so good. I don't have anything like that here.
dude, Bucky's is bomb.
I like Buc-ee's.
So
There's only,
clean and like I don't care how busy they are. They're like Chick-fil-A. They can kind of get you in and out usually.
what's funny is that when you drive from Florida to Texas, starting at like Pensacola, there's a sign that says Buc-ee's in 500 miles.
Dude, I know it's so funny. That's such a flex that people would like
That's so random.
plan their stop.
Buc-ee's is like a huge, huge truck stop
No,
slash.
no, 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 no trucks allowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. It's got signs. No, they don't. They get it, man.
I
They're
didn't
like,
know that. I didn't know that
yeah,
there's no
dude.
trucks
No,
allowed.
no trucks allowed, man. And yes, Evan, they do have the best bathrooms of any gas station.
It's a
It is
huge.
spotless. Like
Well,
this
what would
place
you
is.
call it then? Service center?
It's a travel center for
Yeah, truck.
cars, but for passenger cars only. It's just like a super station.
So if you want to go there and you want to snag yourself like a Texas shaped uh spatula or a Texas shaped
Oh, dude,
anything.
it's crazy. Yeah, they got. I mean, they have everything up from like they have furniture there. I mean, dude, at one point in
Yeah.
time, they were selling deer stands out in front of it. But
Yeah.
it's really a gas station though. I mean, but it's a huge instead of having a small C store, like a little convenience store, it's a giant
Yeah.
building. And they'll have a food counter in there. I mean, they have fresh tacos. They have like it's crazy. They got a bakery in there. They bake fresh cookies. They have fudge. I mean, dude, but that'd be like an insult to call them the Walmart of gas stations. But I know what you're saying. It'd be like
No,
I don't even.
it's like the chick it's like you said, it's clean, well run.
Yeah, all
Uh
the quality's up. Like all their food is good. I've gotten their breakfast tacos. I've gotten their brisket tacos. I've gotten their like
yeah.
pulled pork.
It's and there's only like 3 of them, right?
I think more than that, but there's
There's
not a
one
lot.
there's one right across from Wildcatters where we play shows
Right,
sometimes.
there's one on I-10 heading
Yeah.
east from
There's
Houston.
one in San
One on four
Antonio.
there's one
Or
on 45 north between Houston and Dallas. Um,
that's the only ones I can think of. Those
there's one
3.
on 290, not that far outside of Houston.
Hmm.
There's a few there's like some that aren't quite as big as the others, but most of the ones that are like in between the big cities in Texas are huge and they are super nice.
Yeah, no, they're Bucky's is good, and then whenever we used to play San Antonio and drive back to Burleson, we used to stop at this kolache place. It was like a I can't remember what it was called. It's maybe like a German something,
Yeah, they're German.
and we would always get that there too. I mean, they were open 24 hours and just something you would always look forward to after playing San Antonio and heading back to like Burleson or Fort Worth or wherever.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently they're all over the place now, Bucky's, at least like more south. Chip, what about Chicken Express? Just on a side note, that's only in your area. I know you're not.
I only eat it when I'm with you.
I haven't had it in years. I can't even remember the last time I had it, but
When we were recording Roosevelt, for
yeah.
sure.
So 2019, January.
And then
I don't think I've had it since because
I
there's not
don't
an easy one to get to in Houston. The one in Houston's like closer to Spring, I think, isn't it?
dude, I never eat it unless I'm with you and Kyle.
Yeah, I mean they're not easy to find where you're in your area. In Fort Worth, there's a bunch so that I could figure out where they are. But anyway, yeah, Bucky's is cool.
Dude, my mom must be watching. My mom just texted me that there's 2 in Alabama. So that's where my whole family's from is from the
So I wonder if they changed the sign in Pensacola to say now there's a Bucky's in like 20 or 50 miles or so.
Well, I mean, if it's not on I-10 heading through Mobile, then it's not in Alabama. Cuz like you go through a tiny little sliver going from Florida to Texas, like you're not in Alabama long at all.
Yeah, but there can't be I can't see there being a Bucky's.
and
Just
not
kind of,
being on
yeah,
I-10.
not be huge.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing small Bucky's. I don't know. Anyway, and then what about? Have you ever had the Bucky Nuggets or whatever they're
The
called?
beaver nuggets?
Yeah, beaver
I don't
nuggets.
know if I have.
That's funny.
That's funny.
I never had Bojangles
I've
or
never had
Cookout.
Cookout.
I don't know what that is.
I feel like maybe I have, but I don't know what it is.
Is that Houston place?
If it's what I think I had Cookout in Arkansas if I had it, but I could be wrong.
What is it, like a chain, like a fast food?
No?
Bojangles is like chicken, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna top Chicken Express in my opinion. The U.S. is really weird for that. For me, you can go to a place that just is like chicken fingers,
Oh,
or
right.
like Chick-fil-A that's just chicken sandwiches. I mean, I know they have other stuff too, but it's pretty much just those things. There's nothing like that I can think of here.
Right. I'm not a huge fan. I think you're talking about Raising Cane's. I'm not a big.
Yeah, not a big fan of Raising Cane's. I mean, it's not bad. Actually, I don't mind it.
Oh, you know what? It's pretty good.
No, I've had that same thought, but I think I had it last time we were in Texas, and I thought it was decent.
Oh,
Yeah, like the U.S., you can find a place that's grilled cheese, and that's all they sell,
dude, there's a place in Houston called Just Mac.
and it's just macaroni and cheese.
I'm not going there, but that's what the name implies. That turns me off, man. Like all you do is I'm not a big macaroni and cheese person to begin with, but like
I like mac and cheese, but I find that in the U.S., I find that I don't like a lot of the macaroni and cheese there. But anyway,
oh, they have sandwiches.
who?
Whatever though. This just no T, just Mac.
Oh, just Mac.
Yeah. Yeah. Cane's fries definitely suck.
I don't mind their fries. They're crinkle cut, are they
If
not?
they're crispy, they're good, but a lot of times they take them out too soon.
Yeah, well,
I've never had
Boston
Boston
Pizza.
pizza.
That's a Canadian place. I don't know if that's.
Have you had it?
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's whatever.
We got a place called Boston Pizza and New York Fries, and I don't think you guys have either of those places. I guess in Canada, it's like, yeah, Boston Pizza, New York Fries.
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't
that.
know. Do you guys have Toronto anything? Toronto poutine.
We have your Drake.
Do you know what Toronto? Do you know what poutine is?
Oh my god, dude. My wife made me try it.
You didn't like it?
I hated it. I
I
thought it
could
was
see why you wouldn't like it.
it's dude, that's the nastiest
But
shit.
this is the weird thing is that you guys in the United States don't like gravy and fries is not a thing there.
No. I had it in Canada. I had it in Toronto.
Yeah, no, I'm but in general, you don't put gravy on your fries. And anytime I do that in the States, people look at me like I'm weird.
Yeah, I don't put gravy on anything though, bro. I don't like gravy. Like I don't put it on my chicken. I don't put it on my potatoes. I don't put gravy on shit.
Well, I mean that's one bit of craziness right there. But
Yeah.
but in general, they don't. It's weird. It's such a strange thing to me.
Dude. Kelsey insisted that I try this stuff.
Well, you don't even like cheese, or if you don't like gravy and
So,
cheese.
dude, she's like, just try it. It was so gross. I mean, I acted like a child, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, biscuit and gravy. I can't buy the biscuit or the gravy that white gravy. I can't get that anywhere in Canada. I've looked for it. Can't find it.
oh, like biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, like that white gravy. I guess you could make.
You like that?
I do.
And you can't get it in Canada.
No, I guess you could make it. I tried to make it once and it wasn't very good. So, I think it's just milk and pepper and something else. But yeah, you guys put gravy on biscuits. You put gravy on mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
but nobody puts gravy on fries.
Why would you?
Why wouldn't you?
Because ketchup goes on fries.
Ah, ketchup. Screw ketchup.
I'm not really a big ketchup person, but
Screw ketchup and the horse it rode in on.
yeah.
Go to Dairy Queen in Texas. Is that something?
I mean, Dairy Queen's.
We got Dairy Queen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we have Dairy Queen. I mean, we have the Queen in the UK too. So
What are you talking about?
Canada loves the Queen. Like
Yeah.
she
Y'all do.
matters to Canadians for some reason.
Why?
I have no idea.
Not officially though, right?
I don't think it is anything official. She's on our money.
Do y'all still pay tribute?
I don't. Like Hunger Games. We don't have anything like where you got to say something to the Queen, like a Pledge of Allegiance or whatever kind of thing to the Queen or anything like that.
No.
People just like it for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, people here do too.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. But anyway.
We can talk about that another time.
Yeah,
that'll be I've got my own rant about the
about royalty.
Dude, yeah.
I just actually watched because I'm watching all those Oscar movies, and one of them's called The Queen, which is it's basically about what happened when Princess Diana died and what the monarchy was doing, and they were being total dickheads. Like they didn't want to acknowledge her at all because she wasn't at that time. She wasn't royalty because she had divorced him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even want to say anything about her, and it's all about the politics of people started to turn on the monarchy, or that's how they portrayed it. But
yeah,
and then they eventually caved in and gave like a statement and stuff, but they didn't want to do it at any point because they didn't like her. But anyway, that's when we do musicians watch monarchy movies. All right, Chip, you want to call it a day?
Yeah, dude. It's been
All
fun
right.
though. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us and tuning in.
Yeah.
We're planning on doing another one next Thursday, Kev.
Yeah, I'll figure out something. I guess maybe we should watch La Bamba if you haven't seen it.
I could try to do that.
Don't let Breck ruin it.
Right.
Let me see if it's streaming anywhere. It says it's on Netflix, but I don't know if that's my Netflix or your Netflix or. Do you got Netflix on your phone, Chip?
I'm checking. I mean, I can rent it. Worst case, I mean, isn't it pretty iconic?
I mean, it's. Yeah, I have it. I don't know if you'll have it though, because we have different.
No, of course not.
Throw Prime.
Is it on Prime?
I don't know. I can't check my Prime and it be the same as yours.
Yeah, it's true.
Unfortunately. But the big problem is that I don't know how I'm going to work our faces into the La Bamba movie poster.
Oh, it is on HBO Max, which I do have.
Hell yeah. Because honestly, for these first 3 movies, we've been picking them mostly based on if I could put our faces on posters.
I mean, is there a better way?
I don't think so. I think that's the best way to pick a movie to watch. The problem with La Bamba is there's only one guy on the cover. Oh well, we'll figure something out. But yeah, we'll do La Bamba next week.
Sounds good.
And Chip, don't try not to get spoiled on it.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Don't search La Bamba.
Well, again, thanks everybody for hanging out with us and tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll do it again next Thursday, same time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Peace out.
Later, bro.
Later.